guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel, and today I'm joined by award-winning YouTuber Max Hayes. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me. It's really good to be on. It's great to speak to you.
Yeah, you too. So, let's get straight into it then. And for people who haven't seen your channel before, obviously Matchday with Max, just tell the viewers at home what you actually do on the channel.
Yeah, so my name's Max, and I started at around your age, actually, about 11 or 12. And it's just basically your typical kind of football YouTube channel. A little bit different to some. It's not the usual vlogging style. It's more of interviewing fans at home and away, that is, supporters. I get access to Forest most games when, of course, the fans are allowed in. Not at the moment. And I interview, for example, Sky pundits, people like Colin Murray, presenters, and people around the media industry. And it kind of all started from a little YouTube channel. And now it's kind of gone to the next level. I work for Mitre as an ambassador and do lots of FA Cup things with them. So I present, I kind of cover the FA Cup for them right from the first round up to the final. And that's been really good this year. And things are progressing really nicely. So I'm 16 now, and hopefully it's going to kind of turn into more of a job, which is what it wants to do ultimately. But yeah, I've done Matchday Max for a while now, and I've loved every minute of it. And I've got a really nice following, 6,500 subscribers, and just some a lot of the Forest fans really supportive, and some really good people around me as well that support what I do and have always supported me as well from the moment I started.
Yeah, so obviously you have done some amazing things, interviewed some amazing people, and just done all of that over the last couple of months. But going back to when you started YouTube, as you said, 12-ish, did you ever expect it to get this big?
Well, yeah, probably not, no. I mean, because it's always a difficult one when everyone asks you that question, because it's in terms of how, I suppose, you class as what's big, because there's a lot more YouTubers out there that have 200,000 subscribers, 1 million, so much more. And there's football vloggers that has 5 times more subscribers than me. But I suppose big in a way of having a decent following and doing things like my Mitre stuff now, probably not, no. I always wanted to do it as a job, and I started Matchday Max really ultimately at a young age for kind of a platform to build myself up from, because Matchday Max won't be around forever. It won't be done forever. In fact, this season, the season after, could probably be the last one, because I'm getting to an age now where I'll have other opportunities and want to take it onto a job. And like I said just before as well, my ultimate end goal is to be a presenter of some sort. But so for me, that's the aim. And I suppose I never thought that I'd have definitely above 1,000 subscribers. And I just have fun doing it. I really enjoy doing it. And so I always say to people whenever they ask, how do I get into it or whatever, or how do I make sure it's successful? It's not, if you take the subscribers and the view count away, which it should be ultimately, you should really focus on that. If you're having fun doing it and you're enjoying doing it, then keep doing it. If you're not, then you have to think twice. Well, is this going to be worth it if I'm not enjoying doing this? And there's times where you might not enjoy it because you've got to put a bit of hard work in, or you've got to stay up late to edit a video or whatever. But it's ultimately about keep going, and you will enjoy it in the long run. And once you build yourself up after a few years, and I was saying to you before we came on camera as well, that at the end of the day, you have to build yourself a platform, and then once you've got a nice little following, it becomes much more simpler to make videos, and it becomes a nice, probably a little bit more fun. It's always been fun for me. I've always had a great laugh doing it, and just some good memories and meeting other people. And it's nice to go a little bit behind the scenes sometimes, and to cover the FA Cup this year, and interviewed Steve Bruce, the Newcastle manager, and a few more other people, and all fans from different FA Cup clubs. I went to Shrewsbury, Liverpool, which was one of the I think it was the last FA Cup round before all this happened, and that was just fantastic. I never thought I'd go and see the champions of England play, and also it was a great game. It was a cup upset, and we caught some brilliant emotion on camera from interviews and clips and everything like that, and made a real good job of it. And that wouldn't be possible, of course, from the likes of Mitre, but also from starting on Matchday with Max as well.
Yeah, so we will go on to the stuff with Mitre and all the amazing interviews and stuff that you've had. But again, start when you were a smaller YouTuber or didn't think you would get this much opportunities. When you were younger, then you were just going to Forest Home and Away, interviewing fans stuff. Did you ever get nervous? Just interviewing random strangers at a football match?
I got nervous, yeah. It's a different type of nerves. I mean, if you ask anyone that knows me, or for example, family-wise, I haven't stopped talking since the moment I was born. I've always been always talked to people. I've always been quite a sociable person, and always kind of been brought up to be like that. So I was definitely nervous at first, but always ask yourself the question, what's the worst that can happen? You go up to someone, you ask them if they'd mind doing it, and they'd say, no, sorry. And then you just walk off and you don't have to see that person ever again, probably. I guess I was nervous. I'm not nervous now, for example, because it's something natural. It's just like, getting and driving a car, or getting in the shower, that you don't even think about because it's so natural. And that's what interviewing to me is like now. But you've also, when you're interviewing someone, you can't be half asleep, for example, or daydreaming. You've got to think about the next question that you're going to ask them, and you've got to also take their answer into your head, because they can always catch you out if they ask you something and you're too busy thinking about the next question. You've always got to be on the ball. So going back to your question, yeah, I was nervous, totally, I guess, but it's just developed over time. And you don't ask, you don't get, and it's always that saying of what's the worst that can happen. And a lot of the people that I ask are generally supportive, and 9 times out of 10 they'll say yeah to an interview. That is.
Yeah. So after a couple of years of you just doing the interviewing fans, you grew a fair amount in that bit, and then you got put into like an award, the football blogging award. So how was that?
Yeah. So I was. I better get this right. I think I was 13 or 14 actually, and the football blogging awards came about, and this was they'd stopped it for a few years, and I'd always kept an eye on it. Love to go to that, even if I wasn't going to win an award, just to go to the event, actually, just kind of network with people. And so that was that kind of started up again, and I was lucky enough to kind of be nominated for that. So you had to get a few votes. You get people had to enter on the website, I think, or whatever like that, and something. And down the line, I was obviously went to the final, went to Alexandra Palace, and won it. And it was a brilliant night, really good night. I think because it was live on Sky, and a lot of people. Again, that was kind of the first big break for me, because when I won because I won the award, and when I went and did the speech, because I was obviously really young at the time, I was quite, squeaky voice and small and everything. It was because I was kind of like so professional about the speech, and I sounded like a 20, 30-year-old man. A lot of people really like that. And I think that was another bit of a big break, where, because it was quite funny that someone little and so small had gone and won an award and given like a really good speech and everything. And it was a brilliant night. And the following year, so I think it was last year when it was at the Etihad, I won the slightly different title, but I won the same award pretty much. So, twice in a row. I haven't entered again, and I can't really anyway, because I'm working with Mighty, who sponsor my award, the award that I won. I'm now a judge, and will actually present that award. We'll go up and stage and present it to whoever wins it next time. So that'll be quite special, thinking that I've won the award twice, and I was in the same position as those people sat in the room, and I'll be able to present it. So that was a really special evening. And again, it was a bit of the first big breakthrough as well, where you network with a lot of people, and a lot of people were really interested in me as well.
Yeah, so as you said, after you won those awards, your channel just blew up. You were getting double the amount of views on all your videos, and then you start getting the opportunities of interviewing some amazing people. Obviously, the Mitre thing as well, even some stuff with the BBC as well. So how surreal was it to be given all those opportunities in such a small amount of time?
Yeah, it was, in a way. It was quite funny, because it's not like where one opportunity came at once. It was like they all came together, and it was one of those where you couldn't believe it. And but it was also the case of, well, I've got those, and good things come to those who wait, but good things come to those who work harder as well. And I think that a lot of hard work went into Matchday Max, and a lot of hard work that went into Matchday Max and editing videos and producing content and things like those awards got me to where I am now. I'm very grateful. Again, I use a lot of cliches when I'm speaking. It's hard not to, but always stay humble, and I think I have, and very grateful for all the opportunities I've got. And with the BBC thing, this was this time last year, actually I had a memory come up on social media. I was in holiday in Greece. I went to holiday a lot of times, different of course with the pandemic not going on, and I applied basically just I think it was through the BBC's website, just for somebody that was interested in football and was good, like talking to a camera and was not bad at football playing wise. And I applied for it thinking nothing of it, and they invited me to like this casting day. They were casting for a new show, and I got this opportunity. And a few months down the line, I kind of went to this casting process, went through quite a big interview process with a lot of other people, and they picked 3 people to present this new show that they were doing. Still can't reveal the name, and it was me and 2 other people, and I was delighted to obviously have got the opportunity. And we were hopefully going to be resuming filming after all the pandemic, and it had other ideas, and unfortunately it's kind of being put on hold more. So fingers crossed that will kind of come back in the next few months. Whether it does or not, I know, and I do feel sorry for a lot of people that are in the media industry, because it's been very difficult actually during the pandemic, even though they've maybe had things to talk about, but especially people that are in the sports media industry, they haven't had much to do, and it was a shame that the BBC stuff's kind of been cancelled for the next few months, but got to keep working hard, got to keep moving on, and fingers crossed something more will come out of that. And I'm always a big believer as well in everything happens for a reason, so fingers crossed that's the case as well.
Yeah, so obviously you got all of these amazing opportunities, and then after a couple of months of it all just stopped really, with obviously the coronavirus pandemic, but you still soldiered on and you started this new series on your channel, Lockdown with Max, and you still got to interview some amazing people as well, like Caroline Barker, and then with Mitre as well, you got to interview Robbie off of Arsenal Fan TV. So was there any bit in your mind that you were just going to take a break from it all over the lockdown, or did you always know you were going to carry on doing the interviews on your channel?
I mean, it was difficult for me because it was kind of all building up before the pandemic came along, and I had, like you said, my mind to work in the BBC, and I had my GCSEs to do, and kind of had all these things spinning around my mind. But it was just like, okay, I've got the next few months now, and I need to plan. I've got my GCSEs, but I also need to keep me, of course, my BBC work, and it was kind of planning. It was a planning stage in my head to find out what to do, and then all of a sudden it all came crashing down, and just a complete halt on everything, and just everything stopped. I had literally just everything kind of snatched away from me, and I had nothing to do basically, apart from after the first few weeks. It was interesting because the first few months of the pandemic, everybody was obviously on furlough or whatever that was, or just kind of bored out of their minds because they weren't doing anything. Whereas for me, I was still doing quite a lot of Mitre challenges and continuing some work I'd done. Yeah. So the first few weeks of the pandemic just felt normal for me, apart from the fact that I wasn't going to school every day and wasn't going to sit my GCSEs. So that felt normal until after, a few weeks of the football season stopping and things like that. That's when it came to a point where, when everyone kind of went back to work and was getting more busy, it was the opposite way around for me. I was getting more bored. So that hence why I started Lockdown with Max and interviewed some brilliant people. It was only a small series. It was only going to be, a few interviews, interviewed like an Olympic gymnast, which was incredible, and a few more people as well. So it was brilliant. And then I carried on when the football came back as well. I was doing my Forest interviews by Skype, which was quite interesting to do them by Skype and Zoom. And it was kind of hard to learn that, but I suppose the whole world's obviously gone to Zoom and went to Zoom and is still on Zoom really, with meetings or whatever. So yeah, everything kind of came to a halt, and like you said, did you ever think about taking a break? Probably, yeah, it was in the back of my mind, but you got to keep going. You've got to keep going, and you keep going, then good things will come, definitely.
Yeah, so finally, if you did have any advice for someone who wants to, or is thinking about starting a YouTube channel, who wants to grow on YouTube, or even just get into like football media or just sports media, what would that advice be?
My advice be is, kind of spoke about it actually during the interview and just did different bits that I've always said to myself, is that you've got to work hard. Things don't come overnight, 100%. And I was at fault to that. I thought that things would come overnight and opportunities would come straight away from doing YouTube and getting into the media industry. And that's not the case. You've got to keep working hard and you've got to build new contacts. Be nice. That's the best advice. Be nice to people. And if you get friendly with people, for example, like Colin Murray, who invited me down to the EFL kind of
Yeah,
studios
I
when he
saw
was doing
that.
it on Channel 5. So, for example, that was when I was your age, at a really young age. And from then and to onwards now, I have a really good relationship with Colin and I'm personal friends with him now. And, I will see him, everything. We'll catch up often and interview him. And my advice would be to simply be nice to people, and you'll get other people to do opportunities and help you in any way, shape and form. And you've got to ask as well. You need to ask for opportunities. And they all come about. It's such a hard industry to get in. I know a lot of people want to get into it, and by no means am I in it yet. I'm in it in a little bit, but it's not my end goal. My end goal is something a lot bigger than what I'm doing at the moment. And I'm always want to have kind of aspirations set high, but also realistic.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all about working hard, and it's simple. Be unique, have fun, be nice, and work hard, and things will go your way, definitely.
Yeah, so thanks so much for coming on today.
No problem. Thank you for having me, and good luck with everything as well.
Yeah, you too. Everyone go subscribe to Matchday with Max. His link will be in the description below. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Hope everyone did enjoy this video. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next one.